Hello, everyone, and welcome to tonight's stream. Tonight we have Sammy, Bob, Ace, and Tom joining us. If you guys want to go ahead, introduce yourselves, going from top left to top right, bottom right. Go right ahead.
We're the same people that are on every one of your streams.
Wait, yeah, that's a good point.
There's some new people here.
No, there's not.
There are.
Anyways, oh, you mean in the comments? Oh, okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Sammy's.
Sammy. What's up, guys? I think I'm lagging.
I'm lagging like hell too.
I'm gonna restart again. Give me a minute.
Okay. Is everyone lagging?
I'm watching my lips move like 5 seconds.
I'm good.
Talk, so.
Well, of course, Ace is good. Yeah, I do see Bob lagging a little bit. Guys, how's the stream on your end in the audience? Is it laggy? If yes, then we'll just have to make do. Here, let's do this. Try again. Speak.
Woof.
No, I'm still lagging.
It's not great still.
Sammy's fine.
Not great.
Tom's good. Ace is good. Bob is laggy, but that's fine. All right, Sammy, you can go ahead and introduce yourself first.
I'm laggy.
No, you're fine on our end.
Okay, I'm still laggy.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, on my end, you're like talking and stuff's working, but mine's behind on my screen.
All right, well, Sammy, you can just talk. Know that you're fine on our end.
Okay, what's up, guys? I'm Sammy. You all know me. Built the drill.
Colin Jameer says my lips are 10 seconds in delay.
It might be the background. Maybe it's a background.
Yeah, let me shut that off, and then I have 2 different internets. I'm gonna switch to the other one too. Hold on.
Yeah, Sammy's not lagging for me either. I think Sammy has a delay on his end though. Yeah, he definitely does.
Yeah, it's all laggy on my end.
Is mine working? Yes, it is. Okay, it was the background. That's weird.
Bob is just in a plain white room now.
It's
Sammy,
it's like green, but we're
that fixed it.
Sammy, go ahead and introduce yourself whenever you hear me.
I already did. Okay, but
okay, yeah. We'll
what's
go to
up,
Bob.
guys? I'm Sammy. Okay.
Okay, go ahead, Bob.
I'm Bob from BK Photo Page.
Ace.
Yeah, I'm Ace, aka Mr. Car, Ace Car from Facebook.
And Tom.
Hey guys, Tom's Tracks 99 on Instagram. Maybe I'll go active on there again soon. But yeah, that's where my coaster stuff lives.
So everyone, welcome to the stream. I know we have a lot of new viewers in here. So if this is your first time on one of our streams, welcome. They pretty much always go the same one way or another. You guys send in as many questions as you'd like, and we'll answer the ones we can. And then we'll kind of go from there. Of course, since the last stream, we had El Toro reopened at Great Adventure, which was awesome. Of course, you all know at this point we were the first up. We lost Ace. No, we lost Sammy. We were the first public train on Toro for the year, which was absolutely amazing. Really, really great opportunity there. I'll be right back. I have to shut my window because now it's starting to monsoon outside.
Wow, it is so freaking humid.
Yeah,
I'm getting hot. I had to actually get my chair so I get up under the fan. It's so hot.
I'm in my basement because my upstairs is too hot and I haven't put the air conditioner in.
You guys are good.
Guys, we do have to stop for one.
Yes, we do have to stop. Hold on,
guys. Hold on. We have a super chat. Thank you for the super chat.
Oh,
there's a super chat horn.
Yes.
Do you think Six Flags America will ever get a new ground-up roller coaster to my home park? I like spending the day there. New coaster would help. I could see them
getting a free spin.
I could see RMC Roar eventually.
Yeah.
I know at one point their president said that they do plan on doing it. It's just a matter of when. And it's been taking a while, but I do think RMC Roar would bring a whole new life into that park.
Like I said, ground up, I could see them getting a free spin or some kind of a single rail or something, one of the smaller single rails or something like that, like one of the clone things I could see, but I don't know about anything brand new.
I feel like if the RMC Roar would just kind of feel like Six Flags New England.
It would feel that way. And I was having this conversation with somebody at the park today, and RMC Roar has to happen. I don't know if it's the first thing, but are we past the age of free spins? Like, are they done buying those?
I think Six Flags is done, at least under Salim. I don't really see them going for those anymore.
The other thing,
although we do have Six Flags over Georgia to watch, they're currently working on what is presumed to be their new 2024 coaster, and that's heavily rumored to either be a Raptor or a free spin. I'm leaning Raptor, but I guess we'll have to see what happens there. But I think Six Flags America getting a Raptor similar to Jersey Devil and plopping it right in between Batwing and Superman, that's a perfect spot for it.
It's just, do you need no? You know what? I was about to ask if they really need one like 3-4 hours down the road, but then you remember that like there's 2 free spins within that radius of query. That's not like a factor, or not enough of a deterrent to keep them from doing it. So I guess it's not off the table. But would they do it if RMC roars in the plans?
I can see them getting most likely a Jersey Devil clone or a Wonder Woman clone, something like that. Something that's not too expensive.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, they need something soon. That's all I know. But
I also think they need a dark ride. Not a coaster, but they also need a dark ride too.
Yeah. I hope the water coaster that they're getting is a good sign of what's to come. All right, let's go back up to the top here. Thanks again for the super chat. I just got back from the park today, and honestly, it's so pretty now. The paint bucket with the flowers spilling out in the garden pathway into your sideboard are nice overall improvements to the park. I agree. The landscaping is noticeably much better this year. From what I understand, there's a much larger team this year, which has a lot to do with it. And a lot of the things they're doing in general really do make the park look so nice. Like you mentioned with the bucket, I really do like that. And, of course, the Arboretum is really nice as well.
Hey, you learned how to say it.
I did, finally. Yeah, definitely. Great Adventure is noticeably nicer this year. So never happened, but Great Adventure needs a blitz near King Dakar. It's funny you say that because a few of our friends, they were talking to the new park president, Brian, and I highly recommend you stop and introduce yourself to him. He's a really, really nice guy. Definitely get to know him. He's a really I have very good first impressions of Brian. I think he's going to do great things for the park. But anyways, we had a few friends tell us they were talking to Brian. And for those of you who don't know, Brian does have a history at the Universal properties. And we were talking to him about Velocicoaster a little bit. And someone had mentioned that it'd be great to get our own Velocicoaster. And he kind of just chuckled a little bit. So, wow. Hey, maybe it's something that's being considered. I think a Blitz coaster or a multi-launch coaster of any kind would fit perfectly at Great Adventure. So I'm all for that. I know you must have some thoughts, Ace.
Yeah, listen. I told Omar, I told all you guys that if you don't get a Giga, or if we don't get a ground up RMC hybrid, like a form of a Nyanguazi, that'll be my third coaster. Absolutely, I would love that. That'd be a great coaster to add, and the families can get on that too. Kids would love that.
Yeah, definitely. Are they adding anything new for 2024 Great Adventure? So in terms of rides or roller coasters, that really we don't know yet. It's possible, but I'm thinking they're more so going to focus on park improvements for the park's 50th anniversary. We already know of a couple things coming that I'm not going to leak quite yet because they're really, really exciting, and I want you all to be surprised. But there's some really good things coming to the park. Of course, I think we all know there's going to be some form of a celebration for the 50th anniversary. And there's going to be a lot of quality of life improvements and improvements to existing attractions, which I'm really, really excited about. So there will be new things in the sense that it's going to be new for the year, new experiences, but not necessarily new rides. We're going to have to wait and see exactly how they go about handling that. I'm happy El Toro is back. So am I.
Oh, yeah.
Have you taken a ride on Wildcats Revenge? All 5 of us have. Multiple rides on Wildcats Revenge, and it is phenomenal.
Yep,
really good.
I think even over El Toro, it is the best coaster in the Northeast, in my opinion.
That's fair.
That's a bad opinion.
Listen, I concur with that. I concur with that a 1,000,000,000%, because it may sound a little eccentric, but I believe that's my top 5. That is definitely one of my top 5. Right after the big 4. What you guys think? That's my top 5. I concur with you on that one, Colin. Top 5. So what you guys think?
What, Wildcat?
Yeah, Wildcat's top 5 easily.
I'm not going to say it yet because I want everyone to be surprised once we get to
Oh,
the
okay.
end of the year for the countdown. But it's up there, that's for sure.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Let's see. Moving on. See, let me find some questions. Fury or El Toro? So this is something I've gone back and forth on over the past few years as I've gotten more rides on Toro, more rides on Fury. Last year, I would have said Fury. This year, I'm going to say El Toro. What do you guys think?
I love them both, but I have Fury rated just a little bit higher.
Toro has always been better.
I don't know. I haven't ridden Fury in a year, but El Toro just has that nonstop intensity all the time. So it's a tough call.
Ace?
Fury, of course. That's my number 2. Toro is number 10 for me.
Number 10?
Yeah, because remember, I got you know how many coasters I have? I got a lot. So I'm not going to brag about it, but I have a lot. So it's hard. The top 10 is very difficult. But Toro is definitely up there. Close to Fury. You know, it's these some bad coasters, meaning they're unbelievably great. It's some bad super coasters.
Yeah,
no doubt about it.
Sammy, question for you.
Wait, Sammy, you also work at Six Flags? Yeah, I do.
Sammy's the newest El Toro operator. He's also the happiest El Toro operator. I don't think he's ever been working without a smile on his face.
That is also true.
Sammy was a huge part of my visit today, helping me get 35 rides on El Toro today. So thank you, Sammy. We were pushing this morning. I am in severe pain, but it was all worth it. And Sammy, it was all thanks to you.
You're so welcome.
So excuse me, Tom. How did you get to 35? You stayed on, or you did it sporadically throughout the day?
Did it in 2 blocks. I did one of 13. I did 13 rides to start. And then I did the rest of them later after the thunderstorms passed. But I think in that second block of rides, I only did get around once, like fully go around. But the park
That's great. Yeah, because I hate that you missed out last week. I'm glad you more than made up for last week. So you even got more than me and Colin. I got 27.
Ace, I'm sure you feel challenged now. Tom got
I like that. No.
I've asserted my dominance. Fight me.
No. He deserved that. He lost last week. You deserve that. You didn't get the first 3 rides. I'm glad you got that. You wiped us out. You got a victory over us. Hey.
I mean, I think I'm at 51 total now. What are you at, Colin? 49? You'll probably pass me a billion more times.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got 29. Yes, I got 27 yesterday. Sammy's first day.
No, I got 29 yesterday. You got 27.
I just said that. I said you got 29. I got 27.
My apologies.
Yeah, and I only got 8 last week. You got like about 15 last week.
Okay, next up. What do you think about the new Festival of Great Adventure? I think it's really, really good. Of course, I'm a very picky eater, as I'm sure you guys have figured out through the video, so I didn't really eat anything. But from what I heard from Ken, my dad, Tom, and Sammy, the food supposedly is excellent, like Busch Gardens and beyond quality. It reminds me a lot of the different events they've had at Busch Gardens and SeaWorld parks.
Yeah.
I think it's called the Seven Seas Food Festival at the SeaWorld parks. And then whatever one they just had at Busch Gardens Williamsburg when I was there, it felt very similar to that, but still very well done. I really do like just how it brings energy into that spot of the park where we've always kind of criticized it for having nothing there. But now that they filled that spot with flavors of the world, I think it's really, really cool. And I think it's something they should keep around all the time, quite honestly.
It was so good. The loaded potato skins were really good. The pork kebabs were good. But then not even just the food. There was entertainment. We saw a steel pan band going, and it's so cool to even see the entertainment element starting to come back because I do miss seeing shows at the park. So huge props to the team at Six Flags. This is excellent.
I thought it was
Ace, Tammy?
Just call him Tammy.
Oh, you want to go, Sammy?
Ace, you gonna keep talking?
Okay. The food was excellent. The jerk chicken kebabs and the beans. That's all I got to try. I would have loved to have tried the Mexican food and the other Indian food, but I'm grateful for whatever I had to eat. So I have to say the event was exquisite. Kind of remind me of a little bit of the old Epcot World Showcase. Go ahead, Sammy.
Before I got interrupted, I thought it was one of the better festivals we've seen at Great Adventure in the past couple of years. Everything just kind of like, it stood out. It felt a little, I guess as they would call it, more premium than what you see at a normal Six Flags park. It was decorated. Like, they definitely went above and beyond with everything. The food was amazing. From what I got to try a drink from Mexico. I got to try the meatball from Italy, and overall, it was just it was great.
Yeah, very good event. What would you say is the most annoying kind of GP guest at parks? Also, release your trip plans. Okay, so we'll start with part one of that question. So I have a lot of pet peeves just in general that like really tick me off, right? And going to an amusement park, almost all of those tend to get set off on a daily basis. For one, people that stop in the middle of the pathway, right? Say I'm walking on the main midway, and then it's pretty crowded, and all these people are just dead stopped in the middle talking to each other. You couldn't pick a better spot to talk than in the middle of everybody's way.
It's just
Move over to the side and let me walk through. Another thing are slow walkers. Now, I happen to walk very fast because I have long legs, and I'll admit that. But say I get in a queue for Jersey Devil, right? There's no line. I want to get on the train because they're loading. And I'm walking fast, and then there's someone right in front of me, just moseying along, I get you want to have a relaxing day at the park, but you see people, it's just like driving. When you see someone coming up behind you fast, you move over or you go faster. You don't just stay. You know what I mean? So
the anxiety of when that happens and they're like about to close the gates on you.
Yep.
I'm sorry. It happened to me on Nitro yesterday with my new buddy Omar was with me, and I'm like, what the heck? Sometimes I say, excuse me. If I'm in a rush, I will say, excuse me. Listen. And they usually sometimes let me ahead of them because you're just holding up the line, walking like
Ace,
1 mile per hour.
Hold on.
We have another super chat. We're going to have to come back
on.
to the second
we're going to have to go back
in a minute. John.
Oh, who got it? Someone got it.
Thank you for the super chat. Really appreciate it.
Holy shit.
Thank you for the congratulations. So you have an update regarding the DC Comics rights that were set to expire in 2028, but I just found out that they extended it to 2053. Any thoughts?
5 years? Holy crap.
That's insane. So I guess
where was this through?
This, what do you mean?
Like who, according to who?
No, I'm pretty sure it's just like public record.
Wow.
Oh, this is public information.
Yeah. Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's definitely cool.
Excuse me, is that for Universal?
DC is Six Flags.
Oh, wow, that's great. Oh, okay, DC. Okay, great. That's awesome.
John, if you want to just send another message and confirm that we have the right train of thought. But if that is for Six Flags, that's really cool. I mean, granted, I've always been one that thinks that the DC theming is way overdone at the Six Flags parks, and I think everyone probably agrees with me there. But when done well, it's really, really good. Like Justice League, great. The queue line for Joker at Fiesta Texas is really, really cool. And the one for Discovery Kingdom also looks really, really cool. So
Superman at New England's pretty cool too.
Superman where?
At New England?
Yeah. That
you got the tunnel with the heat beams, the Bizarro newspaper. I don't know. I like it.
Yeah. That's really cool, though, John. Thanks for letting us know. Back to Jangles's. Ace, you can continue. Because I had to interrupt you.
Oh, we were talking about... Yeah.
Who's going? Who's next?
You were going.
Oh, my God. Everything that Colin said. But here's the worst thing now that the summer's coming. I started having a whiff of it. B.O. Oh, my God. Everybody's sweating. That is the worst possible thing throughout all the parks I've ever been to in my life. Anywhere it's hot, California, Texas, the New York area, New Jersey, it's horrible. It's like, why do you have to subject people to that? That's the worst, having to sit next to them. You guys get what I'm saying. That's the worst.
Yeah,
you have to deal with that.
I cannot stand line jumpers. And I cannot stand the idiots that it's rule number one of amusement parks is every idiot that wins a basketball has to dribble it like a jackass up and down the midways, hitting people, losing it across the way.
Trying to like sidestep them or get in their face and dribble it. It's like, I want to start carrying around like a sewing needle in my pocket and just like anytime someone...
That drives me crazy.
Yeah.
Give out your basketballs deflated, theme parks. If you're going to give them as prizes, give them to them in a plastic bag deflated. They can pump them up at home.
That made me think of another pet peeve of mine. So say you're in a really long line for food, right? And you've had plenty of time to see the menu and figure out what you want.
This is anywhere. This is not just a great adventure. This is anywhere.
This is anywhere.
What does that have on it? Oh, I don't know what I want yet. Like you had 10 minutes to decide what you wanted and you still don't know what you want.
It's
Really?
like you had 20 freaking minutes to get what you to decide what you want. Now you want to take 10 minutes. Oh, that really burns me up too. And we waiting and we're hungry.
They'll all out of nowhere, like they'll see a giant line behind them, and they'll decide to ask the person who's helping them like a million of the most pointless questions.
Oh my God.
Like at the parking tolls for Great Adventure, you'll go there, and sometimes you just get screwed behind someone who's like, oh, this, that, like a million questions. Like, come on, just go. You'll figure it out.
The line jumpers, you always notice that whatever kid's doing it, their friend's always at the front of the line every time.
Of course. My new thing now with line jumpers, I forget where I heard it, but instead of saying, when a kid asks me, oh, could I go up there? My friend's up there. No,
you tell them to go back here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There's
no, exactly. The right answer.
All right. Oh, wait, that's right. The trip plans. So we are making the decision this year. Whenever our trip plans are finalized and we do go on whatever trip we wind up going on, nothing will be announced about it until we are there. That's the way it's going to go. So feel free to guess what you think our big trip may be this year. Some people know, some people don't. Some people that are on it don't even know. So leave it in the live chat. We'll go over some of your predictions, see who winds up being right, who winds up being wrong. I think it'd be a bit of a fun game. But yeah, that's where we stand on the trip plans. I think Tom.
If I was the guest for you, because I'm done with my trips. Y'all know where I went. Even you, Bob. All y'all know what I went. I'm done with my voyage. No pun intended to Holiday World. Colin, I would have to say Six Flags Magic Mountain. I hope I'm right for California, but let's see what happens. Let's see.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We will have to wait and see.
Yeah.
We're going to move on. Did you guys hear about the incident at Gronelund? I did, and my hearts go out to the person who unfortunately passed away in the incident, as well as everyone else involved. For those of you unaware, their Jetline Schwarzkopf looping roller coaster, a wheel bogey detached from the car and wound up causing a derailment. I believe the car itself fell onto the ground while the ride was in operation. Very, very unfortunate accident. And from what I understand, Gronelund, they're, of course, doing everything they can to cooperate, and they have the park closed until further notice. So really, really unfortunate situation over there at Gronelund. I just hope the best for everyone involved.
My condolences, and my heart goes out to all the families in a solemn moment. And I can't even imagine the tragedy of losing loved ones like that.
Yeah, definitely.
So God bless them all. Yeah, God bless the families and all the loved ones of the lost ones.
Yeah. All right, we're going to move on. It was so cool seeing you on tour and giving you a high five. Yep, great to see you as well. Do you know when King Dakar is reopening? King Dakar should be open by Wednesday.
Oh, Wednesday.
I will say this, Wednesday, given weather isn't bad, is probably a good day to go. Congo should be open by then, as well as King Dakar. So pretty much the whole park will be open except for Lagflume. That's it. So that's probably a good day to go. It just still has to get its inspection, do some more test runs, and then it'll be good to go with regards to Ka. Went on El Toro. Then I see Sammy on the ride, and he got off right before me, and I was by myself. He could have sat with me. Sammy, you could have sat with him.
Was it today? It's probably if it was today. It was Tom. So
Sammy was riding with myself yesterday, and then Tom was there yesterday night and today.
Yeah, so they could have been.
And Friday. I need to quit. I need to take a break.
Getting back to your 2019 days.
Yeah, that was just obnoxious.
It was last Tuesday, he says.
Oh, last Tuesday? I didn't even think I was there on Tuesday.
Oh, Bob, we got a question for you. How is the dragster construction going at Cedar Point?
I was there today. I mean, I didn't notice anything different other than the painting. Like the thing though that I did realize though, so they painted like the back pillars, going where you would come down the top hat. And I was sitting there thinking, I was like, if they painted these already, they're not changing that in any way. Then, obviously the other part of the ride is going to be somehow changed. And they had those blueprints that got leaked that said they were building a 2-story station and for 2 rides, which is kind of confusing as well. But I haven't noticed anything different otherwise. It looks exactly the same other than the painting than it did before.
Well, supposedly with that thing with the station, That's just for a setup similar to Gatekeeper, where the op booth is over the ride itself, so it's technically a 2-story building.
I got you.
It's just worded weird.
Yeah, because it says 2 rides literally right in the permit thing.
Weird. Sammy, another question. Are you a fan of Intamin or B&M? I guess what do you prefer?
Intamin. Not even a question.
Yeah. Hey, Colin, I just rode Wildcats Revenge like 30 minutes ago, and it was very insane. What are your thoughts on it? Shared them a little earlier, but it's an absolutely incredible ride. When do you think the 2024 announcements for Great Adventure will come? So we pitched the idea to the president of having an event similar to what Jeffrey Siebert had. I think it was called FT92, the fan event, where they had everyone in the theater and then made all their announcements. I gave him that idea, and hopefully he follows up on it. He sounded very intrigued by it. It's going to be towards the end of the year, probably like September, October, after their summer season winds down. But I'm very excited for the 2024 announcements, and I'll share everything I can with you guys as soon as I can once I find out.
Generally, fall's a good time for new announcements. Just by then, summer's over, and then there's Labor Day pass sales, and that would be like a huge driving point for sales for that. So you'll see a lot of stuff generally announced then.
Exactly. Over Georgia and Fiesta Texas are teasing additions for 24. What are the crew's predictions on what both parks could get next year? All right. So we'll go, because I know everyone's going to have input on this. We'll go myself, Sammy, Bob, Ace, Tom. So over Georgia, I think
you'll have to table that thought.
It's going to be a coaster. Oh, hold on, guys. Another super chat. Thank you, John. So that extension of the rights came out of the 2020 annual report. So I think they extended it to give some cushion because next year's earliest Universal could buy Time Warner. That's smart on their part. Very smart.
Yeah. Definitely.
Cool to know. Thank you, John. Where was I?
We were talking about Fiesta Texas and Over Georgia.
So Over Georgia goes without saying it's probably going to be a coaster. And what's funny is it's going in the spot that when I went there last year, I immediately eyed that spot as being a perfect location for a new coaster, right next to Justice League in that like hill area where there's that giant drop off. They used to have a splash water ride there, presumably something like what they have at many parks, I guess similar to Pompeii, just without the theming. There's the lift hill, turns and drops and giant splash. I think that's what was there, but it looks like they're gearing up for a coaster edition and they're making lots of teasers. So I think the best possibility is probably a Raptor. I think that just makes sense for that park. They really need to start stepping it up now that Air Force One is not very far away. I think Fun Spot, as long as they continue to grow and hopefully they do wind up getting better attendance, they're going to be a serious competitor for Six Flags Over Georgia. So they're going to have to step it up. And I think that's what they're going to start doing next year. As for Fiesta Texas, I'm really not expecting anything big for 2024. They need to spread the wealth around the chain, and Fiesta Texas has gotten double coaster editions now, so maybe a flat ride they'll get, but I think they could start laying off Fiesta Texas a little bit and spread the wealth to some of the other parks that really haven't gotten the same attention. I'll move it on to you guys while I go grab myself some water.
I think over Georgia, we're going to see that third Jersey Devil clone Raptor that I think it was talked about like a little bit ago at this point. So not much there. I think that's kind of what's expected at this point, and if not, probably an SNS free spin. I don't know. Fiesta Texas, I think Jeffrey put out like a post like not that long ago at this point, saying that Wonder Woman's going to go through a 2-phase process, closing July 5th, and then next year we're going to see new trains for it. So I think expect something with that.
Yeah, I mean, I think Over Georgia's definitely getting a coaster of some sort, probably a Raptor or one of the clones. You like what Sammy just said is probably right. They're probably going to replace the trains on Wonder Woman, and then I can see them getting like flat rides or like new shows and things, but I don't think they're going real big after all the money they spent the last couple of years.
A single rail coaster is a possibility. However, I'd like to see them get a launch coaster, but I know that's a far stretch. Go ahead, Tom.
I definitely think Over Georgia could use a launch coaster, maybe something akin to like a Maverick. I don't know if they would ever do that. And as far as Fiesta Texas, I'm not sure. We'll see where that goes. I'm also not entirely familiar with the park, so I don't know what everyone else said.
Hey, quick, Colin, real quick question. Jameer just asked could he join the stream if there's room. You just
I'm
texted
just
me.
going to
What are you
cap
doing?
it at 5 because typically 6 just gets a little chaotic with
Okay.
all the questions. So we're just
Okay.
going to cap it at 5 tonight.
Colin,
Okay.
where I'm looking at Google Earth. Where in over Georgia is the Justice League ride? Because I don't see it by like I don't see it by I don't see it by like Batman or any of that.
It's your Superman.
No, it's next to Superman.
Oh, it's completely on the other side of the park then.
Yeah, let me pull it up just so everyone gets a frame of reference here.
Yeah, and then there's that weird hilly area, and they play the creepy carnival music like all the time. And
Yeah, it's back there.
I see where you're
It's
talking
near the
about.
Great American Scream Machine and Superman. Yeah, it's back there.
Right over here.
Yeah.
Right. This is
It's
it.
back
Right
there.
here. Right. Pretty much next to Joker Funhouse.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that looks exactly like a raptor plot, like especially the Wonder Woman one from Magic Mountain.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I don't know where they would probably want to have the entrance up here. So no, it wouldn't be the Magic Mountain one.
are you sure I see a perfect L?
What here? The problem here, Sammy, is that the mine train goes right here, and the railroad goes right here. So they would have to keep it just to this area as a straight line like Devil.
Yeah, I guess we'll see if they do the modified one like Devil, or it's going to be the standard Wonder Woman.
Or they could do a completely different one and have the station be in a different spot.
They could.
So, never know. Anyways, moving on. How much longer do you think Ka has? I think Ka is probably in the best state out of most of the accelerator coasters in America. Obviously, Matagani, I don't really consider a part of that because it was just redone. Storm Runner is probably in the best of shape because it was down for all of 2020 to get its giant refurbishment. So it's probably in pretty good shape right now. God knows what's going on with Accelerator. Pretty ridiculous that it's still not open yet. Obviously, Dragster's done for. So that just leaves Ka. And Great Adventure, they are on it with King to Ka. I mean, the cable snap, if that was at Cedar Point or Knott's Berry Farm, that would have it down for at least a month. And this park, what, are we on 3 weeks, if that?
Not even.
Really not a very long closure.
It's like 2.5 maybe.
Okay.
Yeah. By the time it opens, it'll be a 3-week closure, which
Except
for a cable
Accelerator
snap,
is open. Accelerator is opening for the summer, by the way, guys.
That could mean anything.
When in the summer?
Probably by July, they said. Accelerator be open soon.
Who's they?
I don't know. They haven't done too much to it.
I have a very low feeling about that one.
Yeah, let's hope.
August or September.
God knows what's going on with Montezuma's.
Yeah, they're taking a while with that one.
I'd be pretty angry if I planned a trip there and it was just not open.
Well, yeah. Let's see. Moving on. On Friday, I went on El Toro for the first time. It was so good that I went on it 5 times in a row. Now my favorite ride. I think it's definitely the best coaster there. That's for sure. Very good ride. And it's crazy because I know a lot of people that maybe are newer to the community. They are just getting to ride El Toro for their first time now, even though their home park is Great Adventure, which is something I kind of forget because we've been around in the community for so long. It's really cool to see people finally getting to ride El Toro. Let's see. Oh, Tom is the devil, by the way.
Toro, let's go.
Toro or Wicked Cyclone, Toro all the way. Wicked Cyclone's good, but Toro destroys it.
Yeah, Toro, number one.
Mm-hmm.
Easily.
You guys think Ka's reopening? I mentioned this earlier in the live stream. Probably Tuesday, Wednesday, something like that.
Yeah.
So on a Coaster Kids video, you probably did. A while ago, but you probably did. None of us have ridden Ride to Happiness, but it looks incredible. Bob, myself, and Ace have all ridden Time Traveler, and that ride is absolutely amazing. So,
yeah,
I'm very excited to eventually get there. You work any other rides, Sammy? Isn't it just Tango?
I haven't even technically been trained to Tango yet. I'm only Toro approved. I should be getting Tango trained on Wednesday, and then I think they're gonna probably move me to the. They'll probably have me do some stuff in the forest, and then BBPN.
What is considered the forest?
So the forest is kind of odd because it's been in, according to Tom, it's also been in 250, but it was all they just moved it to 230 from 240 last year. That's Houdini, Teacups, Carousel. I don't know why it's grouped with Toro now.
That's weird.
It is.
I would think Frontier Adventures and Plaza del Carnaval would be merged.
You'd think almost Golden Kingdom and that would be merged.
Or Golden Kingdom and Plaza del. But then you have Boardwalk too.
No, I think that I don't know. It's a whole thing. Like I can get into it, but I'm not going to.
Yeah. Tiramisu cupcake at Italy vendor is great. Everyone should try it. I heard it was good from a few people.
Did not try that one.
I love tiramisu. I wish I was there.
Well, Bob, it'll still be going on for Thrillathon. Flavors of the World.
Wow.
Until August 16th.
Oh wow, really?
So,
yeah.
Colin, how long is the event?
What event?
This event that we have now.
I just said
Flavors of the World.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure August 16th is when it ends.
Oh, great.
Should be ending August. And then Viva La Fiesta starts at some point. I don't remember if it overlaps with all right, Flavors of the World every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday from June 23rd to August 13th. And then Gaming Fest is from July 1st to September 4th. That's going to be in the old Chiller Observatorium. There's going to be the PCs and all that in there. Fourth Fest is July 1st through 4th, of course. Fireworks every Friday and Saturday night, July 7th to August 26th. And for some reason, I don't see Viva La Fiesta in here. So
they have shirts in the park for that. So
Let me check the press release because now I'm curious. I'm pretty sure Viva La Fiesta is scheduled for Great Adventure, but that could also be why they have flavors set up to be so long.
No, we have it because they have shirts out.
I know, but well, you know,
they wouldn't put out merchandise for a random event at a different Six Flags park.
There is no Viva La Fiesta. It's just Flavors of the World and Gaming Fest.
I'm excited to go back into the observatory. I will probably I probably won't even game at all. I'll just
I got to peek
go
in there this morning.
How is it?
Looks pretty cool.
Is it coming along? Does it look like it's almost ready?
It does look like it's almost ready, but I think there's still a little bit of ways to go. But I think they'll be ready by Saturday.
All right, we're going to move on. Jangles. Ace, have your credits been officially verified? Which insurance company do you verify your rides through?
That's a good question.
Yeah. The best thing I can tell you right now is that I just put together my spreadsheet of all my credits. So I have it on there.
Ace, do you feel a need to do this every time you say something?
No, not at all. I was actually just getting my horn ready for the next super chat.
Oh.
So that's what I was doing. Tom and I are the horn guys. But yeah, I you know, Colin, you're the reason why I actually had to put everything together on the fly last year because it made perfect sense, all the credits I have. And it's a lot of fun having a spreadsheet. It's really cool too, even though it's not as vast and sophisticated as yours, but it has the basics. You know, like the ride, that is operating, the year that I went on it, and steel or wood, etc. The basics.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna move on. Iron Thunder 2024. I wish, but that's definitely not gonna happen.
Thunder.
Rolling Thunder Reborn.
Yes. Wow. The ground up. Wow.
Jingles here. Will there be a Hollywood Studios Community Day at Great Adventure this year? You know, a lot of people, they have messaged me that they'd love to meet me and everything. So at some point, likely in August, I will have some form of a meetup day or something along those lines.
You're going to have to hire Ace to be your bodyguard like he was for me.
I listen. I'll be your number one bodyguard because yesterday there was 3 ladies. They voted with Nitro, myself and Omar. And listen, these ladies wanted to meet you so badly. Oh my God, Colin, oh my God. Oh, they were going crazy and everybody with them were like, oh, what is wrong with y'all? They were right near you too, leaving Nitro's exit. It was unbelievable that you didn't meet them, but they would have loved to have met you. Trust me. You got a lot of admirers.
Yeah, maybe the day of Thrillathon, since everyone will be there, we'll just have a time at some point.
That'd be nice. Yeah.
But we'll see.
Yep.
Moving on. All right, someone guessed Six Flags Magic Mountain. I guess we'll see. Again, if you guys want to guess what trip we're going on. List all the parks you think we could be going to, wherever you think it is. California, the Midwest, Texas, Canada.
This is gonna be like a list of Oaks Park to Michigan's Adventure to Dollywood. Like,
yeah, it's very easy. Magic Mountain, Knott's, SeaWorld.
We're actually going to Big Apple Coaster between Bellagio and
just there though. Nowhere else.
The Mirage. We're going to Vegas. The coasters are an afterthought. We're gonna go gamble.
I can say this: there will be on the trip. There will be a total of at least 10 parks.
God damn.
Whoa! He has to be going to Europe. There's no way.
10 parks. That it can go a little higher, but it's at least 10 parks.
Well, no, that can still be California from San Francisco to the LA area.
Pause for a second because we have a super chat. Tom, get that horn. There's a super chat horn. Thank you, Marshall, for the super chat. What is all of your top fives? I only have 52 credits, but my number one. That's a good top 5 for having 52 credits. That's a really good top 5, actually.
Do you only ride top coasters? Like,
wow,
this is incredible.
That's pretty cool. To start with 52 coasters to have that, that's impressive.
All right, I'll let Tom read his top 5 first, then Ace, then Bob, then Sandy.
Oh my God!
I appreciate what I have listed.
Yeah, I appreciate you sneaking the draft order here, but like I can't even.
All right,
really
I'll go first.
I will. Hold on, no, I got like I can tell you definitively, Wildcats number 1. Keep in mind, I'm very not well traveled. And I can tell you that probably in my top 5 would also be like Pantheon. I don't know. Pantheon's really fun. One day I will think about it and get back to you.
So what I'll do, because like I said earlier in the stream, I do want to keep everyone in suspense for the video after we go on all our trips this summer as to what my top coasters are. So I'm going to list 8 of my top 8 coasters, but not in the correct order, just so you guys don't know exactly what they are. So El Toro, Fury, Velocicoaster, Pantheon, I-305, Queasy, Wildcat, Steel Vengeance. I think that's all 8. So yeah.
Yeah, how can
Who's that?
I-305?
Sammy?
Ace, go ahead, Ace.
Oh, okay. Oh, like I alluded to earlier, I'm gonna say my top 5, 1 to 5. Iron Queasy, obviously. Number 2, Fury 325. Number 3, Steel Vengeance. Number 4, Velocicoaster. Number 5, Wildcat's Revenge.
Sandy?
Yes.
I think after this year, I'm gonna have to make a tier list instead of like a top 10 because there are so many interchangeable things now that it's just like this coaster's just like this good, or it's like it could just be as good as the other one. It's hard to rank things sometimes, but right now I think it's Skyrush 5, I-305 4, El Toro 3, X2 2, and Ghost Rider 1. Yeah.
Ghost Rider number 1 still, huh?
I love Ghost Rider.
Yep.
I love Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider is incredible. Sensational. Great track.
Where were we before this? I can't remember what message we were on.
Top 5?
No, before
this.
We were talking. I'm trying to remember. I'm just thinking out loud. What were we talking about? We were talking about Ace. No, we were talking about Ace verifying his. We did talk about that. Okay, no, we already talked about Ace in his credits.
Yeah,
we were there.
We were here.
Yes,
we're here, right?
We were at the Magic Mountain. Yes.
Yeah, like I said, guys, you want to take a guess of where we're going this summer? Go for it. And like I said, I think what I'll do is I'll film a video and have it publish as soon as we're at the first park of the trip. I think that's a cool idea.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do that.
Yeah.
And it's not, the only reason I do that is just to kind of keep everyone in suspense, make it a nice surprise, make it kind of come out of nowhere. So, have a little fun with it.
Yeah.
But, like I said, 10 parks at least. So take your guesses.
Who knows? Possibly California.
Right wins shirt.
California has over 10 parks easily, so you never know. San Francisco to San Diego and LA and Anaheim. Who knows?
So does the upper Midwest. So does Canada.
Yeah, you never know. Yeah,
there's plenty of spots. So does
yeah,
Europe,
there's a lot of spots.
Japan, China.
Wow, it's
Never
a lot.
know.
Yep. Pennsylvania. Okay, good.
So, King Dakar was running or testing today. So at the point, it was probably testing with water dummies.
I guess I don't get a top 5, huh?
Oh, sorry, Bob. Go for it.
I kind of agree with Sammy though. It's to the point where like after like the top 2 or 3, it's just like here's a group of the coasters I love kind of thing. But the last time I wrote it out, I had Velocicoaster 1, Iron Gwazi 2, Steel Vengeance 3, Fury 4, and Toro 5. But like I said, like I love X2, I love Time Traveler, I love Ghost Rider, so that's all right there too. Once you get beyond 5, why these people that like rank like their top 500 coasters, who the hell cares once you get past like 10 or 20? Honestly,
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like,
So, Bob, when was the last time you rode Toro? 2020?
well, it was done. It wasn't open at Thrillathon, right? And then it would have been. Wasn't I there the?
Oh, that's right. You were there in 21.
In October, we went to American Dream, and
that's 2020. But then you came back in spring of 2021. You hit all the boardwalks, and we went to Great Adventure.
That was in summer. That was last week in the summer. Like it was 2 years ago last week.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's running really good this year, given that it doesn't find a way to continue the Thrillathon curse.
Yeah. Well, we only like about a month and about 5 weeks away from it, so let's pray. Keep our fingers crossed. We have Kai and Toro going. That'll be a perfect day for Thrillathon 23.
And just so everyone remembers, Thrillathon is on a Sunday this year, not on a Saturday.
Sunday, August 6th.
And the reason for that is because there's an event at Waldameer that Saturday, and I guess they don't want people to go to Waldameer instead of Great Adventure or vice versa. It's not like they're really that close anyway, so.
True.
Anyways, I'm addicted to El Toro. I keep wanting to go back. I feel the same way. 29 rides yesterday. It wasn't enough. I want more. I got to go back and get some more. Let's see.
35 is too much, so the sweet spot's between 29 and 35.
Hey, Ace, have you heard about Kings Island getting a new coaster?
Unfortunately not. I spoke to Don, but we couldn't really get far with him. Obviously,
he didn't seem to indicate anything like that.
No. Yeah, we were at Coaster Stock, Bob and I, but we didn't get anything. It would be nice to find out what Kings Island, one of my favorite parks, next coaster is going to be.
I have a feeling next year they're going to do something with the Kiddieland and update that a bit.
Okay.
And then
25
again general park improvements, and then I think we'll see it in like 2 or 3 years. We'll see something finally in the vortex spot, hopefully.
Yeah. That's a huge void, more than the Son of Beast plot. Yeah, that has to be filled up.
All right, moving on. Thank you, Jameer. I appreciate it. Colin, are you a little shocked that Skyway opened this year? I am, because prior to the new park president, Brian, coming in, I had been hearing that Skyway was not opening this year and might not reopen again. But then as soon as Brian showed up, it started cycling, and then it was open. So just an observation. But yeah, I was very surprised that it opened.
Very happy too. That is
very
one of my favorite.
I don't care that it's only one side. One side, just to have it open is great.
Yeah, I was very happy because all of us coast fanatics, we need to be able to get back from Nitro to Contour, and especially on a long day to save your legs when you're there for 12 hours in a day. Oh, it definitely helps on a hot day.
And it's an excellent holiday in the park ride. It is a top tier holiday in the park ride.
Yeah,
you was able to get your El Toro footage, so that really helped a lot.
Yeah,
all that stuff. Yep.
Is that the Capitals goal horns, Hound? I think it is, right?
That's the Washington Capitals.
Yes, that is the Washington Capitals with a great horn, nice and loud.
I rode Candemonium, thought it was really fun. Do you guys like it? It's one of my lesser favorite B&M hypers. It's just too short, but the airtime moments it does have that aren't trimmed to death are really, really good. It's just that those trims are too harsh and the ride itself is too short.
It's really smooth, though.
It is. Yeah. It's a fun ride.
Yeah. I concur with that. Go ahead, Sammy.
I just said it's all right. Nothing too crazy.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Sweet.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't-
there's three significantly better rides in the three significantly better coasters in the park. If you ask me.
There's more than 3 actually.
Well, I wouldn't take anything other than Storm Runner, Wildcat, and Skyrush over it. I think Fahrenheit's just a little below it.
Fair.
The Great Bear is a great one too.
Great Bear's good. It's a little
Yeah.
lower though.
That's really nice. Yeah. And Candemonium, I concur with Colin and everybody else that said it's smooth. However, those trims are just, they have pretty much decimated the ride as far as I'm concerned. That kind of made, that's a disappointment. Those trims are too hard.
I
Such a nice ride.
What was that, Sammy?
I think Jolly Rancher Remix is just a little bit better.
Yeah, your mind. Anyways, leads into our next question. What do you guys like better, Candemonium or Nitro? I say Nitro.
Nitro, of course.
Candemonium
Nitro's
is the smoother ride though, Candemonium, but Nitro has better airtime.
Yeah.
Nitro is a very overhated B&M hyper. It's very, very good.
Yeah, it is.
As long as it's not cold. When it's cold, that ride sucks. But when it's decently warm or hot, it's very good.
It gives really good night rides too.
Yeah. Listen, guys, ever since I went on it for the first time on May of 21, it's still running great. I have no complaints. Front and back, one of my favorite hypers. Yeah, I'll tell you that much. Always will be.
Next up, congrats on 6K. Thank you. Finally going to U.S. in August. 1 day at Over Georgia at / Fun Spot, 2 at Hershey Park, and 1 at Great Adventure. What rides would you recommend in each park if it gets too crowded?
I'd recommend a fast pass. That's what I'd recommend.
Yeah,
You
I
got
agree.
that right.
I mean, there is one ride at Great Adventure you're almost guaranteed to never have to wait for, and that is Zumanjaro. So there's that. And Hershey, typically Lightning Racer will not have a very long line.
Oh, Skyrush. No,
and then you can also catch Candemonium and Skyrush at certain times of day where there will not be a wait at all.
Yeah.
Skyrush will get waits to the front, but other than that, you're good.
Wildcat will always have a line, though. I'll tell you
and
that.
Don't do
the line for Wildcat doesn't exceed more than 45 minutes. So
yeah, and don't do the wing seats on Skyrush if you want something smooth. Do the middle seats.
Yeah, if you like smooth rides, Skyrush is you're gonna have to do middle seats.
Yes.
And really, any ride that is 4 across, do the middle seats because they tend to be smoother.
Yes.
El Toro, make sure you ride non-wheeled seats, so like row 2, row 17.
Yep.
Those will be your magic seats there. King Dakar, ride front row. Yeah, that's pretty much all I could say.
There you go.
I recommend getting a fast pass though if you're only
if you're only having 1 day at Great Adventure, depending on the way the weather works out and what day a week you're going, you might want Flash Pass.
Same with Over Georgia.
Over Georgia, you probably will want it. Just be careful doing Over Georgia and Fun Spot in 1 day because you could wind up spending too much time at Over Georgia, then you get to Fun Spot and you like get rained out or something, and then you don't have time like another day, for example, to go back. So
isn't Fun Spot open to like 12?
Yeah, but even if that's the case, weather's weather.
It's true.
I say that because someone I follow on Instagram just got screwed over and is not going to get to ride Airy Force or anything because they spent a little too much time at Over Georgia, went to Fun Spot, and it's a monsoon. But anyways,
that sucks.
Thank you, Joey. I appreciate it. I have the same shirt. This is a classic shirt of mine. I always wear it. What's up, Austin? Thank you. I appreciate it. Colin, I have a question. Since you appear to be pretty close with the park, does that mean you're more biased when talking about Great Adventure? So the way I try to go about things on the channel is with all parks, I try to look at the positive aspects over all else. But when I do notice something negative, I will point it out. Constructive criticism is very important. But when you get to the point where you're just bashing and not providing ways to improve, you wind up just making your content not even watchable. There's plenty of people out there, I'm not going to name names because there's no reason to do that, who just have nothing good to say. It's always negative this, negative that, negative this, when there's plenty of good things that parks do and plenty of good experiences that you have, and they just choose to ignore them. Of course, being close with Great Adventure and getting to work with the park very often, I do elevate them a little higher than some other parks, as is the case with all parks I work with, because I really do appreciate the opportunities they give me and the treatment we receive is really, really great. They have great staff at all the parks that we work with. So I try to stay as honest as I can with you guys, but when there is something that could use work, like for example, the Six Flags app and the fact that mobile ordering still doesn't work when you have a pass, I think that definitely needs to be addressed, and I will not hesitate to talk about that. So hope I'm relatively clear there.
Good answer.
Yeah, good always supersedes bad. So absolutely, that's the rule.
Accelerator just got a shipment of parts that had been waiting on. Well, I hope they can get it together quick for whoever's going out there, because shame that it's been closed for so long.
Yeah.
Let's see. Went on Toro for the first time last week and loved it. That's great.
Yep.
Also, Tom, you're my favorite. Tom,
hey, let's go.
Whoa.
A question for Tom. Do you work any rides?
I do not work as a ride operator anymore. I kind of keep my work life separate from the channel. But yes, I did used to work as a ride operator at Great Adventure. I worked pretty much everything spanning from Joker to Skull Mountain in that area, all the flat rides. And then I worked like 1 day as an attendant at Joker, so I'll say I worked that coaster. And then I worked Skull Mountain and the Mine Train too. And Roadrunner Railway when it was that.
All right. This is a really good question. Since we are almost in July, what are your honest thoughts on the 2023 Great Adventure season? What are the pros and cons going on in the park? And what do you want to see improve going into next year? So I think this is known pretty much across the board. The start of the season was botched, plain and simple. Half the park being closed was really not a good look. I mean, Nitro, Batman, El Toro, Medusa, Mine Train. There was a lot closed on opening day, and it took a while for rides to reopen. What the reason was for that, I still don't know for sure, whether it was staffing or just a little bit of a, I guess, delay with getting off-season maintenance completed. There's just a lot closed and a lot of issues at the start of the year, and I noticed it really wasn't that crowded at the start of the year. It did pick up for Screen Break, and Screen Break was a really, really good event. I think that's one of the better things they've done all season. It was definitely a little crowded at certain points, a little too crowded, but it was a really, really cool event. And I do think it's good that at this point right now, we have just about every ride in the park open. We're only a couple shy at this point. But I do think going into next year, that off-season maintenance or whatever the delay was in getting everything open for opening day this year needs to be handled going into next year. Come opening day 2024, everything needs to be open. Everything needs to be ready, fully staffed. I think that should be a top priority for the park. In addition, I think that any new additions coming to the park need to start construction much earlier than they have been. Barnstormer, everyone knows what's going on with Barnstormer. It should be open in a week or two. It shouldn't take too much longer, but that ride was a 2022 project and still hasn't opened. And Hurricane Harbor's project, which is all the kiddie slides, that's more on the fault of Six Flags themselves. They signed contracts very late for all these new additions coming in 2023, which includes the Skyline family coasters at Over Georgia and Fiesta, Texas. And they just did not give their teams enough time to be able to construct them. And I think that's a fault on Six Flags, and they really need to get their act together in terms of making sure they have rides ordered in time and signed in time to have a decent opening day for the next season. Because at this point now, the 2023 editions for the Six Flags parks, they'll be lucky to make it for summer, if you ask me. And if they don't make it for summer and they make it for Fright Fest, I think that'd still be a bit risky. I don't know if it'll happen. The Skyline coaster shouldn't have too big of an issue opening. When you look at like Six Flags St. Louis's coaster, it's still just track pieces sitting on the ground. Great Adventures Water Slide Edition, personally, I don't think it'll open this year. I think it'll probably just wind up opening next year, but we'll see about that. So I do think that the park should probably start construction on any major projects right now or as soon as possible during the summer, because otherwise there's going to be a lot of people a little ticked off when they go there next year, opening day, and not everything is open. So I think that was the biggest problem this year, but there's a lot of really good things. For one, the park is the best looking it has looked in years. The landscaping is noticeably better this year than it was last year. That's, like I said, because they have a much larger team this year. In the park, there's so many different landscaping projects that have gone on throughout the park that really make it look very, very good. And I really do appreciate the park for doing that. And overall, just the park itself looks great. I love Flavors of the World. Feels like a much more coherent and well put together event than Summer Vibes. Of course, Summer Vibes was just a test, but this is also just a test. And I think for a test run event, it's doing really, really well. So there's definitely a lot of pros and cons with the 2023 Great Adventure season. But as I predicted at the beginning of the year, summertime is going to be the time to go to Great Adventure this year, just because everything's going to be open, ready to go. So as we get closer to July and August, especially by Thrillathon, I think the park will be in great shape. What do you guys think?
I agree. The beginning was rough because this was one of the first years in a while where opening day didn't feel as exciting as it should feel. I think back to last year when Toro was ready for opening day, and that was such a cool visit. But I agree. Once they got things open, it felt a lot better. The park just feels more alive, and I'm really enjoying the specialty events. Screen Break was a nice surprise. Flavors of the World, really cool. I will definitely be getting another punch card next time I go, or one of these next times that I go. And just keep it up. I saw like a comment, someone asking about shows that we'll probably get to later. I hope they bring back more shows. They're starting to do that with Flavors of the World, and I just think it's cool that they're able to do that with this umbrella event, and they have like these little entertainment offerings here and there. Hopefully those are closer and less few and far between. I think they're going in a good direction.
Well, the bottom line is, we're buying our new park presidents. Congrats to our park. That's our future. And I don't see anything in 24 happen like it did in 23. So it's most likely going to be the antithesis of what happened at the beginning of this year. So we're going to have a great 24, whether we get a new ride or not. And yeah, everything Colin said and Tom said, I concur with.
I'm kind of calling this like a setup season for next year, because it'll be the 50th. A lot of things will be happening. And yeah, I think staffing really took a big hit in the beginning of the year. I could tell, especially the whole Medusa area not opening. I think it was a little ridiculous that Nitro and Batman were closed. I thought those are kind of like staples. But overall, I think we still made it out to be a pretty good season so far. There's a lot of good things coming this year. So
yeah, definitely. Let's see. Do you guys wish Aero was back in business? It depends, because if we're talking Aero the way they were in the 80s, no, because most of those coasters just are not that good. But if they can continue down the path they were going on with X and Tennessee Tornado is a really good ride, and it was designed completely differently than all the other Aero coasters. And of course, X is just insane. If they continue down that path and kept innovating more and making better rides, then I would be all for them still being around.
Yeah, I concur with that, because Tennessee Tornado is the smoothest Aero that I've ridden. And of course, the only old Aero coaster from the 70s that's still running great, the classical Loch Ness Monster. And X, of course, that would be great to have more X's throughout the country. You know, if we had Aero for that, absolutely. That would be awesome.
Yeah. Let's see. Is Great Adventure will start to teasing for 2024 edition next year because it's 50th anniversary soon. It's going a big one. So
I don't think they're going to tease very much, because I don't think the stuff they're going to do is going to need teasing.
Exactly. I think they're going to hype up an announcement. They'll announce it, and we'll go from there. I don't really know if there's going to be much teasing, because I don't think there's going to be a new coaster. Maybe a new ride, but I don't know about a new coaster. Fiesta Texas now has a Fat Burger and Summer Vibes, while Great Adventure is getting fireworks and the new gaming thing, which Fiesta Texas has. I guess both parks are tight with each other. I think they're using both Great Adventure and Fiesta Texas as testing grounds and then spreading those things across the chain. Great Adventure is one of 5 parks that was selected to test out Flavors of the World. And last year, Great Adventure was the only park to do Summer Vibes. And now Summer Vibes is at a few parks. Sammy, I hope you're having fun on Planet Coaster.
No, it just started loading because I put on my computer again.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Fiesta Texas has always been known as the testing ground park. And I think Great Adventure kind of gets that too now. I think Salim really does like Great Adventure, especially from what we've heard in conversations with him. So I think both are going to kind of be the starts of new things to come to parks throughout the chain.
Well, I just hope that okay.
Nope. Go ahead. I gotta.
I was gonna say that I'm just praying that Brian. It'll be so awesome if we can get another Jeff Seberg like president, and this guy pretty much has the potential to become that. I hope that does happen because I like what I see so far from our new park president.
Yeah.
Anybody? Go ahead. Go ahead, Tom or Bob
Yeah,
or
sorry about that.
Oh.
I remember someone said it before, but it's honestly genius. Great Adventure should put a coaster next to El Toro and call it El Matador, meaning the bull. My dad actually had coined this a while ago, meaning
Yep.
killer, which is named after the bullfighters. I guess El Matador is like the bull matador. I guess that's the way it works. But yeah, it'd be really cool to see that. I always thought that Rolling Thunder should be reborn as a dueling RMC ground up hybrid right there. I don't know if that'll happen. If that doesn't happen, I think a multi-launch would be really cool there, or even a family wooden coaster. But I would rather see a multi-launch personally. I think, that reminds me, something I did want to mention. One thing I really do hope the park does for the 50th anniversary is refurbish Skull Mountain. So we were doing on-ride filming yesterday on Skull Mountain, and trying to film on that and realizing that there really just are no effects anymore kind of made me sad because, for one, you can't see the ride in the POV, but also because it has a lot of potential. And I remember back when I was a little kid, that ride was the ride. Like, it was so much fun. There were so much cool effects. I remember the strobes in that final turn. You'd be like blocking your eyes so you didn't get blinded. You have the skulls all over the place with the disco eyes, all the sound effects. Like, that was a really, really cool experience to ride Skull Mountain like that back in the day. And now it is not the same ride, unfortunately. And I really hope the park can restore it in some way to its former glory of having really good theming. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I really totally agree with you completely. When I first went on it in 1996, incredible ride. It's the antithesis of what it was 27 years ago. Nothing like it is now. I'm like, how do you do that? Like, go from all that stuff to nothing. We had that discussion a couple of weeks ago. It's terrible that they don't have that stuff in there.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time I heard the soundtrack, maybe like 2 seasons ago. But like the soundtrack's gone, the strobes are gone, all the cool blacklit props are gone. Like it's a shell of what it was, and it's sad because it was really cool. It was one of the better themed rides, even when it had the original queue and everything. But hopefully it's on their radar of things to improve at the park, because that would be huge.
It's a great dark ride.
I agree. I think it's that's a very staple ride that they have. It's a great family attraction, and I think adding back some of that theming, which is actually in one of the maintenance houses, I saw it the other day. It's there, so I don't see why they can't add it back.
Yeah, maybe that's one of the things that they're planning to do for the 50th. I guess we'll see. I don't think RMC Rolling Thunder would happen because the area Rolling Thunder was at is marsh, along with El Toro being there. Well, the issue with Rolling Thunder being RMC'd, it was looked at and RMC was there and they gave an assessment of it. The structure was just in such bad shape because it just, all along, it wasn't really cared for the way it should have been, and it just kind of compounded over time. And when it came time for RMC, it was going to cost way more than a normal RMC would, just because of all the structural improvements they would have to make to the ride, and that's what ultimately led to Six Flags saying no. And I know there is definitely a lot of marsh, specifically right next to King Dakar, to the left of the Zumanjaro pathway. But despite that, there's still a ton of land in between Toro and along Zumanjaro's queue line. There's just so much property back there, so much room to expand, and I really hope the park takes initiative and does something with it after all these years of nothing. And Intimate Mega Coaster for Great Adventure in 2023? No, definitely not. Well, we don't have Ace here, unfortunately, so he can't react to your hypothesis. Oh, he's back. Ace, we have a hypothesis from Jingles. Jingles believes that Ace has never ridden a roller coaster, and if he has, we have to see proof.
Well, thank you, Colin. We've been to many parks, at least a half a dozen parks in the country, and you could see me on a lot of coasters in the stream, or going on with Colin, and all you guys too. So
This is a fun one to come back to.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, there's plenty of on-ride videos of Ace on roller
absolutely.
coasters. So,
yeah.
There you go.
Absolutely.
My son thought Sammy was Colin. We saw Sammy at Houdini, and he asked if he was Colin. Well, apparently everyone seems to think that Sammy and I are brothers, which we are not. So
actually, I'm the official. I think my face is shown more in your videos, Colin, than your face is.
My face isn't shown that often, and it's on purpose.
Yeah.
I'm not one to vlog like this with the camera facing me. I don't feel right doing that. So, Great Adventure for the first time in 25 years on Friday, but I got the old school credits you young guys might be jealous of: Viper, Scream Machine, Lightning Loops, Rolling Thunder. Well, I have Rolling Thunder. I have one half of Lightning Loops because I rode it in Oklahoma. My dad has every single credit ever at Great Adventure except for the one that never opened in 1970.
Jumbo Jet.
Yeah. Jumbo Jet.
But otherwise, he's ridden every coaster ever at the park.
Wow.
Rolling Thunder was my first, and at least I don't know, I have a piece of it. That's pretty cool.
Roadrunner Railway was mine. That was my first coaster ever.
My first coaster ever, and actually, second overall was the Runaway Train.
Runaway Train was my first, I guess, big coaster.
Classic.
And then from there, it was Dark Knight, Skull Mountain, and Rolling Thunder.
Wow.
Let's see. All right, we got a couple guesses, it looks like, of the trip. Six Flags Magic Mountain, Six Flags Great America. Nothing else from there, but you'll all find out. Like I said, at least 10 parks. I'm on Scream Machine and Rolling Thunder. Nice. Wish I could have gotten on Scream Machine. I saw it, just like well, no, I didn't see Chiller, but I saw Scream Machine. Let's see. Here, can we have a chat poll to pick which Hollywood crew member we like the best, not including Colin, because we all know I'm everyone's favorite.
That sounds like it'll start a conflict.
Let's do it.
I'm last on this, so it's fine.
Well, you're the most mysterious. No one knows you.
That's fine.
Who's Bob again?
Here, let me make the poll real quick for you guys. I'll go alphabetical. I guess I will go alphabetical. Bob, Emmy, and Tom.
I guess while we're setting this up and people are talking about like rare Great Adventure, older Great Adventure credits, I remember vividly walking past Viper in Chiller Station, and I was definitely tall enough. I wasn't tall enough for Chiller once it got removed, but I was definitely tall enough for Scream Machine before it got removed, and I just never did it because I was too afraid. So I will eternally kick myself for that, but it's okay. I've gotten a few arrow loopers since.
Damn, there's a lot of Sammy love going on right now.
Yeah, everyone seems to love Sammy.
The reason why I didn't get on Lightning Loops in '92, in '91, my family was too chicken. The line was too long going up those steps. Oh my God, like 2 hours long. I would have gone. I would have probably gone by myself, but my family was just too chicken, and they wanted to go to see shows, like the jet ski show and the dolphin show. You know all the shows they used to have at Great Adventure. But I'll get Diamondback at Frontier City when I get back down there.
So it looks like Sammy is currently winning the poll. That's because Sammy looks like me, and everyone loves me.
Because he built a roller coaster.
Wow.
And then Ace pretty close behind. And then Tom isn't too far behind. And then Bob is,
That's completely okay.
Okay.
All right. Next up, you have to be a part of American Coaster Enthusiasts to go to Thrillathon. You do not. There is a list. It hasn't been released yet of coaster clubs that are eligible for Thrillathon. I know some of the ones I can remember off the top of my head: American Coaster Enthusiasts, Coaster Crew, Great Ohio Coaster Club, Buzz Bars, CJ's Crazy Coaster Crew. It's probably another big one I'm forgetting right now.
There are a couple other ones on there.
There's a few. I think the British Coaster Club or something. I don't know. There's a bunch. So I would recommend Ace Coaster Crew, Great Ohio Coaster Club. They all have really good events. Ace probably is the best because it is the biggest of them all. They have the most events. Although the presence of Ace, it's more prevalent in other areas than it is up here. There's some really good boardwalk events, like Seaside Screams is always great. And last year, there was a really good one at Playlands Castaway Cove where you could ride every ride unlimited amount of times for $10, which is a really good deal. But yeah, I would definitely recommend joining one. Also, Ace has taken the lead in the poll. Ace is at 35%.
No one is good enough.
Sammy's at 30%. And then Tom and Bob are
two
tied.
best wooden coasters in New Jersey.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
yeah.
What is going on?
Let's see. I'm expecting the park to announce an itinerary for Thrillathon next month, maybe. I would think so. I'll check in with the people that are in charge of Thrillathon to see when they plan on releasing information about it, and I'll let you guys know as soon as I'm able to find out. Let's see. Nice jersey, Tom. Beating the Rangers was like winning the cup for me. I was satisfied.
Yes, I unfortunately was at game 1 where the Rangers absolutely stomped on the Devils, but it's fine because they literally don't have anybody in front of Igor Shesterkin. So while the Rangers continue to get old and bury their money in a bunch of old men, the Devils are on the up, so it's going to be fun.
Yeah, I was shocked, but I'm glad that your team won because we don't like the Rangers. I know you would not have been happy this summer losing to the Rangers. So rather lose to the Carolina than the New York team.
All right, moving on. Is Great Adventure will start teasing for 2024 edition like SFFT and SFOG does too for next year for 50th anniversary soon? No. What's your guess as to why Great Adventure has no live shows in the summer like they do during Fright Fest Holiday in the Park? My guess is that really just a cost-cutting measure. Honestly, that's my only guess. Because the ones for Fright Fest and Holiday in the Park, it's basically the same show that has been going on for years at this point, and they just have to shuffle the acts out a little bit, change the actors up a little bit. Otherwise, it's very simple to run it because it's all choreographed already and ready to go. Maybe they'll swap a song out or create a new performance or new, choreography once every year or so. But for the others, it's a lot of work to run different live shows, and really the only place they can do it other than the Sun Arena is Showcase Theater, and Showcase Theater isn't always available because a lot of times they'll use it for events. Like, for example, all the chorus band events for school groups, they go in there. So they can't always have live entertainment running. I know there's a few other stages around the park, but that's my best guess. I don't know for sure.
They did start to do some more entertainment and live shows for Summer Vibes. Like, I remember the painting show with the drummers was really cool. Yeah, that was a fun show.
Next up from Brian, do you see El Toro being part of Thrillathon this year? Absolutely, given that the Thrillathon curse dies this year. Thrillathon curse being that Toro is never open for it, knock on wood. But yeah, I think Toro will definitely be the nighttime ERT because that's what everyone wants. And I could see them doing an El Toro tour. That's what it was supposed to be last year. Then, of course, Toro had its incident. They had to switch it over to Houdini, which personally I thought that was the best tour we could have gotten. I think Houdini was a really cool tour. I would like to see Jersey Devil and Nitro come back because a lot of people haven't gotten the opportunity to go back there, especially with Nitro and its new blue trains. So I think that would be a cool tour as well. But Toro will definitely be a major part of Thrillathon this year. If you look into the comments of some of the posts on Great Adventures Insta, it's filled with angry GP. Yeah, the GP here are pretty rough. I mean, you also have the most... Well, you know what? Bob can probably put it into words for us pretty well.
Oh, my God.
Jerseys, New Jerseyans.
Jesus Christ. I had to defend some people before at Hershey Park. It was rough, too. Yeah, I never forget. What is the pandemic lockdown year, 2020?
What am I saying? What am I describing?
Your stereotype about New Jerseyans.
They're not as big of pricks as New Yorkers, but like, I think it was funny. After you said the coaster clubs for Thrillathon, I was trying to look that up from last year, and a lot of the like posts are gone or they don't have that listed. But if you go on those like posts for Thrillathon 2022, there's just nothing but people complaining about having to be a member of a coaster club to go now. Like they're just like losing their minds over it. So it's it's a different bunch, but there's lots of.
We're pulling from two of the biggest cities in the country, being Philly and New York, both of which are known for being absolutely crazy. So there you go.
What I think
New
is
Jersey
funny
itself is absolutely wild.
What I think is funny, and you don't necessarily see it on the comments of the posts themselves, but you always see, like, in the fan pages, the biggest detractors are always the ones who are there every weekend. So they hate it so much so that they'll continue to give the park money.
Oh, like, of course.
Pick.
Yeah. I told you, to Colin, you know the connoisseurs I used to hang out with back in the early 2000 teens. They always want to bash the park. Oh, I hate King the Car, this and that, but they'd be the first one on. I ain't gonna say no names, but you know exactly who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna leave it at that. It's annoying.
Next up, it's so cool to see your dad enjoying rides with you. Why isn't he on the Q&A? Also, it would be nice to see a video with yours and his top favorite coasters. Yeah. I tend to just have myself and these guys on the Q&A because I think he likes watching it a little better. But I definitely will do a video comparing my favorite coasters and his. He always has a bit of a hard time ranking his favorite coasters, which I don't blame him. Most people do. But we definitely have a few differing opinions. Most of them align pretty well, though. Let's see. I think they should retheme the empty box part of Skull Mountain to be like an actual cave and they could light it up. I agree with that. I think there's so many cool things they could do with Skull Mountain, but I just don't know that they will because, as is the case with all amusement parks, there's no glory in restoring something old. There's only glory in building something new. So we'll see how it goes. I would like to point
out that I'm winning in the polls right now. Just an FYI. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you.
Sammy is currently beating Ace by 6%. Ace, how's that make you feel?
Listen, not better or worse, you know. So, not at all. They say you. They say that. Hey, he looks like. Listen, he looks like you, so he should win. You know.
We look that much alike.
I have been thinking of doing a what they call bracket to figure out
the curly hair. Oh, it's the hair. Is. The curly hair, that's why. Got a lot of hair.
Okay, anyways. Also making Skull Mountain a themed dark ride. They have that with Justice League. I don't really know if they need another dark ride. They have Houdini as well, which is not a dark ride per se, but it's a very well-themed ride. I think Great Adventure is good on dark rides, personally. I think they have it covered. I think Justice League could use a few enhancements, though, but, you know.
Namely the gas can targets around Joker.
Yeah, those don't work anymore, and it'd be great to get a laser pointer on the guns. That way you can actually see where you're shooting. And it'd be nice if the guns were aligned properly with the screens, but it's once you figure it out, you're fine. So Dark Knight at Great Adventure is definitely in a weird state where not all the effects are working, on top of the fact that the Dark Knight movie came out a while ago, 15 years ago now.
Wow.
I mean, personally, that is still my favorite movie of all time. I remember watching it when I was a little kid, which kind of makes me feel old now, but I always loved The Dark Knight, and I would hate to see them retheme it or get rid of it. But at the same time, it's not a great ride. I mean, the Wild Mouse itself is fine, but the theming is what really used to make it back in the day. They've just slowly over time been stripping away a lot of the cool theming elements, like that horn at the end of the ride, some of the lighting during the ride. So I think it'd be cool, along with Skull Mountain, if they could restore some of the theming elements to the ride, along with everything else they're going to do for the 50th anniversary. You should probably write this all down, honestly, and pitch it. But, yeah, I think that'd be a good thing.
I remember riding Dark Knight opening day. My family went, and the theming was what really made it. You had the burning building, you had the holographic projections on the billboards, like all these different light up things. It was so cool when everything came together and was working.
Yeah. I actually rode Toro with Ace before. Ace, do you remember riding Toro with Joe the Coaster Fan?
Yep. I probably do. I voted with so many people. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Joe. What's up, Joe?
Yeah. I saw Ace on Wicked Cyclone once. You've probably seen Ace everywhere. He's always all over the place.
Yeah, especially last.
Colin, do you remember when I didn't know Ace yet and you guys told me about him, and then I ran into him at Cedar Point, but he didn't see me, and I was like, is this Ace? And you were like,
yes.
Yeah. And then you guys were texting him saying you were in the park and you were like driving him crazy, like, yeah, right, because he was going around the park looking for you.
That was so much fun.
Oh, man.
Yeah, Bob was just like taking pictures of you and sending them to me, and I would send them to you, and then just be like, "Yeah, we're right here." That's too good. Let's see. My home park is Great America. I'd love to see you come one day. We will one day, maybe soon. Guess we'll see. Like I said, if you have any guesses about where we're going for our trip this summer, leave them in the chat.
It's Japan.
At least 10 parks. I've witnessed Ace ride Jersey Devil over and over and over again. We all do it.
I remember
Yes.
Becky. Yeah, Becky.
Yes,
Yeah, of course.
Typical Ace
Saw
Superman
Becky.
moves.
Yep, that's right. The Superman. Yep.
Yep. Let's see. I have Great American Screw Machine, Viper, Rolling Thunder, Chiller, both sides, etc. Well, you were always at the media events, so you were guaranteed rides on everything, Austin. Let's see. Houdini Rip. No, Houdini's. It's definitely in good shape. I didn't get to ride it yet this year. I was halfway through the pre-show and then it went down. But from what I understand, it's running perfectly fine. It's probably out of all the indoor rides in the best shape in terms of theming. That's always been the best themed ride at the park.
I rode it about a week and a half ago. Most of the theming is still intact. I know like the water chamber in the pre-show doesn't work as great anymore, and Houdini's head used to be in like this crystal ball, and that hasn't worked in quite some years. But I mean, overall the theming's good, and the audio is like a little sketchy. I don't know. It's another classic example of like just theming that could be restored at a great adventure ride that had it once.
Yeah. Rolling Thunder is not still there. Rolling Thunder's been gone for years now.
10 already.
Yeah. This is the 10th year.
Don't say that. I feel old.
Oh, please.
Yeah. Let's see. I think the park president is great so far. He's very experienced. I heard he had a big hand in Volcano Bay. I don't know if he was involved with Volcano Bay. I know he was more so involved with City Walk at Universal Hollywood. And I believe one of the Disney properties, whether it was Disneyland or Disney World, but he's very experienced in the theme park industry, specifically the top dogs of the theme park industry. So he's very well suited for Great Adventure. Let's see here. I always see you guys at Great Adventure. We're always there, so feel free to come up and say hi because we're always there. Let's see. I know when I rode King the Ka on opening day, Sammy was in front of me, so I rode with him, not next to him, but behind him.
For what day?
Opening day.
Well, it says opting day. I think he means opening day.
Opening day? I don't. I literally. We rode that thing so many times that day. I
know. Yeah. Everyone got their passports ready.
Oh,
maybe
yeah.
That's a hint.
Hope you have the new. I hope you have that new. What's that like? Real ID.
Real ID.
You don't need
Real
it
ID.
yet, but you should have. I don't know.
Yeah, I've always had something that superseded all regular IDs since 15, and that's called the enhanced driver's license. Because I've been to Canada several times, so instead of having to bring the passport, I could just use my regular driver's license, enhanced. Real ID always.
Let's see here. A whole bunch of questions just appeared out of nowhere. I always see it Khan at Zumanjaro's line. I spend a lot of time down there. Nowhere near as much as John Gray does, Mr. Zoo. Tom, what ride did you work when you worked at Great Adventure?
I worked pretty much every flat ride between Joker and Skull Mountain. A handful of the Safari Kids rides when that area was Safari Kids, and Seaport as well. And then Mine Train and Skull Mountain were the big two coasters I had.
Jingles here. Is it true Jack got kicked out of the crew? No, Jack's just too Hollywood for us. He's too busy for us.
To Hollywood or to Collywood?
Well, yeah, I guess it's true. Go to Great Adventure August 9th through 11th. Those are unfortunate dates. Anyways, will you guys be there? There's a possibility. I know we'll definitely be there on August 6th, which is the day of Thrillathon. So I don't know how soon after I'll go after Thrillathon because I know that's going to be quite the day. But
August 11th is a weekend, so you might catch me working.
You'll probably see him on Toro.
Or another ride at that point.
Or on the carousel.
Or Medusa.
Or Medusa. But what was I gonna say? I just completely lost my train of thought. Yeah, I don't know.
Probably.
Interesting Bob fact. He's the GOCC president.
Yes.
Great Ohio Coaster Club. Is Mr. Ka suffering from Ka withdrawal?
No, not at all. Because, excuse me, got a lot of rides on Ka early in the season. And just before the cable snapped, I got one nice ride in the front. So I haven't done too much without Ka. And then, of course, what really uplifted my mood and everybody else's mood was the reopening of El Toro. So that really helped that with Ka being down on those 2 weeks. So I've been good.
I remember what I was going to say right here. I never announce the day I'm going to a great adventure. I just kind of show up, and sometimes I'll post on my story. I only do that because, bless you, Sammy. A lot of times at the park, I typically just try to stick with my own group. I have no problem, saying hi to everyone, but typically I just try to stay with my own group, people I know and everything. So I just avoid announcing it on social media anymore because typically I just get too many people, just asking to hang out or whatever. And I have no problem saying hi to everyone, but you can't have like a giant group walking around the park. So that's the only reason I don't really announce it anymore. I used to, but not anymore. I know it just opened, but when do you plan on tearing Shadow Stalker down?
Wow.
Gee, guys, what? This is a question I get too often for a ride that just opened. Like, you gotta go to Great Adventure, your Jersey Devil open. Oh, that's great. When are you guys tearing it down? Like, geez, you want to see it torn down?
Up for that long.
3 years.
Yeah. Well, when are you tearing it down?
I don't know. There's no plans for it. Jeez.
Whenever they make you.
Whenever they make me, I guess, right?
Let's see.
I'll stay for the chat too.
My home park is Fiesta, Texas, and I love it to death. But sometimes I wonder why Six Flags gives some of the most capital Fiesta. Yeah, I don't really get it either. I mean, I guess
I don't get it, but it's my favorite Six Flags park.
Oh, it's easily the best one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't been to Great America or Magic Mountain, but in terms of appearance, Fiesta, Texas is easily the best.
Yeah, and I love Jeff. Like,
it's the best all around. Like, yeah. It's just like Kings Island being better than Cedar Point overall. That's how I feel about Fiesta, Texas. It's just a great park.
Yeah.
Greatly ran.
Let's see. I already have 42 rides on Zoo this year. I have 47 on Zoo this year. Jeez. And I have 49 on Toro this year.
Yep.
So I've ridden a lot this year. I'm going to Thrill-a-thon for my first time this year, so I don't know what to expect. If you want a good idea of what to expect, I'd recommend going to watch either the 2021 or 2022 Thrill-a-thon vlog from this channel. I think the 2022 one is better, personally. It's just I got better with my filming and everything by then, but after the stream is done, I would definitely recommend checking that out. It's a really fun event, and I think the vlogs kind of encapsulate it pretty well, so definitely check that out. Jingles here is a true Sammy stapled Colin on Toro. Sammy didn't staple me, but he commanded somebody else to come staple me.
Oh,
so, to do it?
I got gut punched like 4 times.
Oh, good. Okay, my command worked then.
Yeah. Bastard.
It's okay. Tom's next.
What year did you really start vlogging the park? Before you, I think Officer Earlier was the main channel I watched for Great Adventure content. So this channel has quite the long and winding road of a history. So I started this December 4th of 2014, not covering amusement parks, but I was still an enthusiast, but not like a full-blown enthusiast. I was still very young. I wasn't even 10 years old. But I started by doing like Lego animations and stuff like that, and just like little movies and stuff, typical eight-year-old stuff. And then I think 2015, I already had started with the roller coaster content. I did a lot of Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 stuff that was absolutely horrendous. I built King the Cobb, but I built it mirror imaged accidentally. and I didn't realize. So it was just like all lopsided. But I really started the Great Adventure stuff in 2017. Of course, you would have heard of me if it was successful, which it wasn't back then. It didn't get very successful until 2021. But 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, I was kind of on again, off again when I was doing the vlogs, because my whole goal was, of course, to get to the point of monetization on YouTube. And I would come close, and then it would just not get there, and I'd give up and just kind of not care. And then 2021, I decided I'm just going to go all in and put all my effort into it. And of course, it wound up working out, and started making a name for myself throughout 2021. And 2022 is when it really started to keep going up, and it's continuing this year in 2023. So yeah, I guess I kind of became one of the more mainstream Great Adventure content creators in 2022. 2021, I was still getting there, but 2022 was when it kind of solidified, I guess. Again, I don't want to like pat myself on the back or anything. I'm not really doing anything special, but it's fun, and it's great to have the audience I have here. It's a really cool experience. Let's see. How do you feel about power hours not being held again by the park this year? I really just think it's kind of changing management. The old group of management, that was their thing, and this new group of management, they either don't know about it yet or they're not interested in it. I think it's because they don't know about it yet, but it's very possible power hours could come back. Screen Break felt very similar to power hours, just done a little differently, and I really enjoyed it. So I would definitely be interested in seeing more events like that come soon.
There's also no need for power hours as much anymore. Like the lines have become a lot more manageable.
Yeah, very true. Let's see. I mean, in all fairness, Wonder Woman at Fiesta Texas is getting retracked already. So, Jersey Devil, the whole thing with Jersey Devil is that it's not the prototype. Wonder Woman is the prototype, and that's why it's having so many issues. And I'm sure Railblazer will start to have, if it hasn't already, have those issues. So Jersey Devil, it has a second generation trains. Sure, the track may be similar or the same as Wonder Woman. I think it's a little different than Wonder Woman, but I don't know that's necessarily going to have the same things being done to Wonder Woman that are going to have to be done to Jersey Devil. I don't think that's going to be the case. Their trip is definitely to Canada. The clues are all there. Phil asking about passports, and Tom is wearing a jersey. They'll definitely do upstate New York and Canada parks and the Hockey Hall of Fame.
That's true. I have always wanted to go see, like, I don't know, who's got a statue in the Hall of Fame. I don't know. Could be. It's a very good theory.
Yeah. Hey, if you guys have any trip theories, send them in. They're entertaining.
This is a good theory. Interesting
Ace fact. Can't think of any. Because Ace isn't that interesting of a person, I guess.
Ooh.
No, Ace is quite the character. Man of mystery.
You said what?
I said Ace is quite the character. He's the man of mystery.
Well, listen, I have to be the character I am, and the buffer to all you guys, because y'all interesting men to hang out with. Everybody has a unique way about them.
Yeah. Let's see. I have 13 on Zoom Jar this year. Nice job. I have 292 King to Ka rides between last year and this year. That's pretty darn good.
Yeah, wow. Impressive.
On review videos, do you give credit from different people or do you film them? When you don't see a source with a name next to it in a video clip, that means the clip is mine. So I try to use as much as my own footage as I possibly can. And my policy with people using my footage, I know I have like the whole copyright disclaimer in the description of my video. I mean, really, as long as you give me credit in the video and in the description, that's more than fine. If you want to email me or message me, that's fine too. But yeah, that's kind of how I do it. Typically, it's all my own content. Never seen you guys on Wonder Woman. Weak stomachs or just plain chicken? I don't go on Wonder Woman because the line is always ridiculous, and I don't feel like using my skip the lines on it. That's the only reason. It's a great ride.
No, to me, like, Wonder Woman is the ride to use your skips on. In fact, how many rides do I have on it this season? But, like, however many rides I have, most of them have come by way of skip the line. 7 rides. Okay.
I have one ride on it this year.
It's just like the line is always obnoxious for it.
It's obnoxious line, and then getting on it, the loading takes forever. Like, even if you're using your skips, you're not getting on immediately. So, and then POV footage, there is POV footage of Wonder Woman that we filmed last year in October. I don't know if I published the POV yet, but it would be in the vlog from that day. If you want to go look, that was the day we interviewed Salim. Whatever vlog, I think that was October 10th or October 8th, one of those 2 days.
October of last year, somewhere around there.
Yeah, one of those days.
Yeah. The reason why I don't get on Wonder Woman is quite simply plain simple. So much time on Toro, Nitro, Medusa, Devil, all the best stuff. So I never really have time for it. No, if you're talking about Holiday in the Park, you have time for everything because half the park is closed. So I try to save my rides for the Holiday in the Park when the line's not that long and I have time for it. I'm not waiting on no 1 hour line just for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like to calculate everything. That's important.
Jingles here. Has anyone done a backstage tour of Toro? No.
No.
Not yet. No, you have. Well, whatever.
I did a track
It's a
walk.
little different.
Not exactly.
I've been here since the start. Love your channel. You're a great guy and have a great crew. I appreciate that, Hunter. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ace, the most interesting man in the coaster community. That's not false. That's for sure. Definitely not false.
You know, I just got, historically speaking, when I started as a kid, I never thought it would be like this. Like, I was just a regular customer going 2 or 3 times a year, get on my rides, and I'm done. I never thought it would be like, take this, turn. Meeting Lori and old friends, Christopher Heslins, and what's this guy? I just alluded to him earlier. His name will come back to me because we haven't hung out in years. And then, of course, down to you guys, because y'all like the best coaster connoisseurs to hang out with compared to my original crew. Of course, Lori is part of she's my old and my new crew, which is great. So you tie those both in. So yeah, last decade has really made me more of the interesting character I am now, because I realized we got so many parks that I've always wanted to do throughout my life. And what better way to have it? Road trips all around the country, United States and Canada. So it's great. It's awesome.
Yeah. Well, Jameer, if you have a clue from all the talks of the parks, leave it in here. I'm curious if you're right. I got a trip theory. I predict one park will go to this year's Great Adventure. Well, here, I'll clarify. The trip, it's 10 parks on the trip, not all this year. So I don't know how many parks we're going to wind up at this
10
year.
10 parks
Probably.
on the trip, and we're not going to do that thing we did where kind of like how we considered Rye Playland in our Southeast trip.
Yeah. No, none of that this time.
We maybe, if our schedules allow, we'll parlay some Great Adventure before it.
Yeah.
But probably not.
Let's see. Colin, how many rides do you have on King Ka and all? I can tell you how many I've had on it since 2017. Just got to give me a minute here to do some math. Let me pull up the calculator. I'm curious how many I have on it, because I started counting my rides in 2017. So 31 times in 2017. I did not ride stuff as much back then as I do now. 2018, 57. 2019, 2019, only 36. I guess I had a lot of downtime in 2019. In 2020, I know I barely rode it because it was always down. Let's see. Yeah, only 18 in 2020. 2021, there were 102. Jeez.
Wow.
2022, I did 38. That's it.
Wow. So,
And then this year, hold on, Ace. This year, so far, 39.
wow.
So since 2017, I've ridden King Ka 321 times.
Wow.
There you go. Toro, I think I'm at 800 since 2017.
I'm astonished. that you don't have much more on car.
Yeah, some years I just didn't ride it much, and the other years I rode the crap out of it.
Wow. Every year I gotta ride the hell out of it. Definitely.
This year I've ridden it a lot, considering
Good.
it's been closed a lot.
Oh well, yeah. Yeah, I want to try to get at least 20 to 30 rides on it when I get back to it.
Yeah. All right, I do have another chat here. How is it you have 106K on Instagram and 6K on here? 6K is awesome and 6K is more than me, but just wondering. So what happened with Instagram, it's really odd, and I kind of wish it didn't happen because it pretty much screwed up my whole Instagram account. This reel right here, this simple reel of El Toro dropping, right? This reel has 28.4 million views with 412,000 likes. And when this reel started to blow up, I just got a giant influx of followers because the way the Reels algorithm worked, at least at the time this was published, which was like early to mid 2022, it just kind of caught on. And then a few of my other Reels also started catching on. I was getting consistently multiple Reels getting millions and millions of views. And then I guess it was a different market I had tapped into because when you look at the comments, a lot of these comments are from Middle Eastern accounts. So I guess that's just what happened. Sorry about that. Thought I had to sneeze. But yeah. And then YouTube, of course, it's a whole different ballgame. The algorithm's completely different. Shorts were not as big as they are now back then. So the success from Instagram didn't translate over, unfortunately. But that's all right because Instagram, quite frankly, at this point, it's really not my favorite platform to use. YouTube is by far my favorite one to use. I really enjoy making the videos. Instagram, I just feel it's kind of cheap, both in reels and posts. I just don't get much enjoyment out of it. And because of that giant influx of followers I had back then, my engagement rate is pretty bad for whatever reason. You'll notice that my posts, they don't get like a ton of likes considering the fact that I have a lot of followers. And that's just because of who followed me from those posts, from that reel that blew up. That's just kind of the way it worked out, unfortunately and fortunately. So double-edged sword, really. I'm saving my skips for when King Ka opens back up. El Toro has a station wait all day today, and I have no problem skipping the Joker or Superman. It's fair. Although King Ka, it doesn't really let you in at the best spot when you use your skips. Most of the time, you won't even need to use them. So just keep that in mind as well.
Shout out. What's going on, Brian? Sam and I hung out with him today. Great adventure.
Oh, cool, cool. Let's see. How bad is Green Lantern? I am one of the few that actually enjoy Green Lantern, but that's because I've learned how to ride stand-up coasters. I've employed the same tactic on George Scorcher, Vortex, and I'm sure whenever I get to Magic Mountain, I'll do the same on Riddler's Revenge. But there's just a certain way you have to ride stand-up coasters. The way I do it is I try to set the seat as low as I can. That way it takes a lot of the force off of your legs and puts it more on your upper body, which I know can be very uncomfortable sitting on that bicycle seat, especially for us guys. But it's, in my opinion, much better to deal with that than to deal with your legs being annihilated. And headbanging, I don't have an issue with on Green Lantern, and that's because by sitting lower, your center of gravity is lower. And those rides, the way they're heart-lined, it's designed for a much lower height than what you get when you're standing up at a full height. So it winds up being much smoother. So I've always had a great time on Green Lantern. So if I have any bit of advice to someone going on it for the first time, set yourself as low as you can. I know the operators are going to tell you to stand up straight. Just try your best to get it as low as you can. And then you can kind of rest your legs for most of the ride and you'll be fine. But I know you don't agree with me.
I'll tell you one thing. When I first got on it, when it was changed at then Six Flags Kentucky Kingdom, it was smooth as butter. The relocation obviously had an effect, an adverse effect on it. So, as Colin alluded to, you want to do that and you want to keep your head out because it is pretty rough. And I'm tall, and it is some head banking if you don't have neck control. And it's, I have to say, just the roughest of the old school stand-up coasters of Georgia Scorcher and the Riddler's Revenge. So I would have to say by far the worst one. I'd rather avoid it. Probably ride it a couple times a year. Probably get like about 3 or 4 rides a year on it. It's my least favorite coaster in the park.
Yeah, I strongly disagree. Anyways, unless anyone else has anything to add, we'll continue. Very soon, guys, at 9:53, I'm going to put a line in the chat to end off where we're going to begin. Well, we're going to continue accepting questions for the streams. If you have any last final comments or questions, get them in now. The line will be going in at 9:53, and then we'll start
an
our
arbitrary time.
It's an odd time. Go like 10.
Nah.
No, 10's too long.
Let's see here. I'm gonna continue past here. Just try to find some questions. You think King Ka will be open? No. Holiday in the Park. Well, it won't be open for Holiday in the Park. It never is. Oh, I know what you mean. Because bonus days they closed it, and that was
Last year.
Ace was pissed. You remember how Ka was closed for bonus days last year, Ace?
Yo, I was gonna allude to that. I spoke to the really nice Chris. Chris is a really nice guy. Wow, he just like Brian gave us a lot of great info. And I asked him, I said, what happened? Did Salim shut it down? He said, no, it wasn't Salim. It's the fact they needed maintenance. How can I understand? Ka needed maintenance, and Toro, obviously what happened last year happened. So I didn't have nothing to say after that. I understand. You know, they said that he alluded to that they don't run. She doesn't run well and doesn't like the cold, referring to Ka and Toro. So it's understood.
Yeah, I hope when we do get the bonus days that they will have them all open. So we'll have to see. Sammy, what's your 100 credit coaster?
What?
I guess your 100th coaster.
I think it was Stormy. Yeah.
It was what?
Storm Runner.
Oh. Let's see. For my 51 ride marathon on King to Con 20. Yeah, that was pretty insane. And I remember Gabriel, when he was running the social media for Great Adventure, he made a mention of that in the post too, which is really cool. Let's see. Name a ride or coaster, past or present, that makes you guys feel queasy or get sick. I'll let you guys handle this first. I got to step away for a second.
You go ahead, Ace.
I would have to say right now, yeah, on a bad day and it's spinning too much, the Wonder Woman. If it's spinning too much, yeah, that would make me kind of sick.
I can't ride anything that spins. So,
in New England, I remember we ate whatever. What was the name of the barbecue restaurant in New England?
You're talking about JB's barbecue.
Yes, JB's. So,
oh, that's great.
Right before we rode, not Pandemonium, the Boomerang. My memory is awful. Wow, it's probably because I rode Toro 35 times. Flashback. Oh, to be continued. Get the horn.
Hold on, guys. Nope. To be continued, we have a super chat. Thank you, Jacob, for the super chat. Kyle's supposed to open July 31st. They said July 30th. Well, I'm guessing you mean June 31st.
There is
June 31st.
June 31st.
It'd be really tough for it to open June 31st.
It's a hard deadline to meet, but I think they can do it.
From what I've heard, Ka is scheduled to open on June 27th or June 28th. So, yeah. Thank you for the super chat.
But we were talking about rides that made us queasy. Yes. So we had JB's barbecue. For my lunch that day, I had a giant plate of fries smothered in pulled pork, and I chased it all down with one of those like jumbo-sized Angry Orchards. And then we got on Flashback, and I was not feeling good for like the next hour or two after.
Ooh.
Jump in real quick, but there is one experience that I know Bob probably remembers fairly vividly. We were at Cedar Point. Actually, I don't know if you were there with us this time. You might have been. So we were at Cedar Point. We went to Chickies and Pete's. We had a cheesesteak. And then we thought it was a good idea to go on Max Air right after that.
I don't ride Max Air, so I probably wasn't.
And Max Air almost got us. It didn't do it, but it was almost there. I know Sammy and I both felt a little off after we rode mixed at Hershey Park. I don't know why. Every single Zamperla flat ride makes me feel a little sick. Wonder Woman, all the giant discoveries, they get me a little bit, and that really got me. I don't know why, but it was just really weird.
You know what? No, the worst of the worst that made me literally barf.
Tom, hit the horn.
Oh wait, I closed it down. Ace is gonna have to do his like 16-bit pixel version.
I hear the horn. If one ride was to return, which would you rather, Rolling Thunder or Great American Scream Machine?
Rolling Thunder's 2 credits.
Rolling Thunder.
But I never got to ride Scream Machine, so that's kind of like swaying me a little bit. But Rolling Thunder filled such a good gap in the park.
Oh,
and
man.
it still hasn't been replaced, so I'm going to say Rolling Thunder.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
I would go Rolling Thunder.
I have no opinion.
Fair.
Oh, yeah.
Where was I? Here.
I
Oh,
didn't get to answer. What the heck, Colin?
oh
Go,
yeah. I was
Sammy.
gonna say, who was next? Go ahead, bro. Before I go, I got some great
Sammy.
ones, some great stories. Stories.
I think if they had gone through with the purchase of having was it Morgan redo Great American Scream Machine, that would have been up there.
So
I think so.
Fair.
Just kind of like how Phantom was.
So
It would have been another version of Phantom, basically.
So in regards to rides that made you sick, I'm sure it got you guys too. What is the witch's wheel name at Great Adventure? That tore my stomach up, and the one at Coney Island just made me just literally barf. I got destroyed 2 or 3 times in my life on those. And in the one in Nickelodeon Universe that goes upside down,
The pendulum.
it's like a mini version of the Wonder Woman
at Casino Pier. I forget what it's called. It's white though. It's right next to Skyscraper. That gets me sick. I have never thrown up after a ride, but that got me pretty.
Wow. Did you get sick on the one in Nickelodeon Universe that goes upside down? That's similar to Wonder Woman?
I never rode Krang.
Don't. That thing is so miserable. Brandon was laughing at me when I was getting literally about to, and I got lucky. I didn't end up,
Bob, what about you?
Horrible.
What?
See, I mentioned this
ride or
story.
coaster makes you feel queasy or get sick?
I can't ride anything that spins. I love Skyhawk, but it always gets me lightheaded. Anything that headbangs me to the point where I actually have a headache, that's when I almost feel like I'm hungover, and it ruins my day at that point. So because it just makes you feel not only headachy, but it makes you feel somewhat, a little bit nauseous and things like that. So anything that's super rough or super headbangy gets me every time.
You gotta blow through the whole box before 5 days left.
Yeah. All right. Everyone answered, right?
Yeah.
Okay, next up. Hershey. I'm not even going to go into it. Hershey.
Yeah.
We're all in agreement there.
A question.
Yeah. I have to say, it is
Hershey has the most well-rounded lineup of any park I think I've ever been to.
Yeah.
It's also a really just nice park.
And it's our Energylandia of North America, especially with Wildcat, my dream hybrid. Oh, you can't go wrong with that. Hershey Park is just so it's like damn near in the Hershey Disney Universal of beauty. Not the money, but the beauty of it. It's just great. Hands down. It is. It's exquisite.
All right, here's Jameer's guess. Georgia, fun spot for Air Force and Six Flags Over Georgia. Then Dollywood for Big Bear Mountain. Then maybe Carowinds, Kings Dominion, Busch Gardens. Well, I'm going to say this. I'm going to shoot down one thing right now. There's not going to be that many revisits. Every park you listed except for Fun Spot is a revisit. So, new parks.
Yeah.
You're up.
I'll just leave it there.
You're up.
What do you think will be the next great adventure ride, and where will it go? Well, we've been asked this plenty of times. So instead of saying what I think it'll be, I'll say what I want it to be. For a non-coaster, I think it'd be great to see some form of a flat ride next to Jersey Devil in the spot between Congo Rapids entrance and that right path to the Pine Barrens. I think that's a perfect spot for a well-themed flat ride, maybe like Daredevil Dive Flying Machines at Fiesta, Texas. I think they could do a really cool job theming that with the Pine Barrens theme. And I also think they should replace the splash water area right by King Dakot's bathrooms with a Scream and Swing.
Took to the streets, moving within 120 miles of the Russian capital.
So,
Ace, are you watching BBC?
You said what?
Are you watching the BBC network?
No, I'm what they're talking about the takeover, the possible takeover of Russia, perhaps. Let me turn that down.
Yeah, I don't want to hear
The
about
mutiny.
it.
I know the mutiny, but I'm gonna turn it down. You don't even
Anyone
know
else have
about
thoughts on
that.
this?
It will not be their next ride, but I hope it's on the radar to replace the Spinmeister. I think that would be really cool with one of those next gen ones. The giant, oh my god, not the giant Discovery. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about. But I think it'd be really cool to have a newer Enterprise where the old one was. I know the ride path is there, and you would definitely the ride path is there. You would need to rework the Terror Trail that runs back there, but if they weren't so married to the idea of having a Terror Trail back there, I would love to see that area fleshed out with some flat rides again, like it used to be.
Totally agree. I think an Endeavor would work great over there, and I think that whole area should be built out. Screw the Terror Trail; they can put it somewhere else. That's a spot that really needs to be built into. Anyone else?
All I can imagine is
what are your thoughts on I-305?
Incredible. Easily top 20 in my coaster count. Absolutely. It's like you're flying and you're on a racetrack. You know, pretty much the quintessential racing coaster. That's what the theme is. You are racing through that, especially in the second half. I'm sure you guys like I-305 too.
Yeah.
Incredible coaster.
Let's see. Next up, or Georgia, Dollywood, then Florida for pipeline rerides. Good guess, but like I said, that's almost all revisits, and they're not revisiting parks. Let's see. You might go for a 70 to 80 ride marathon on Green Lantern. You are insane for that, and for that, I give you a round of applause if you pull it off. That's
wow.
Jameer,
you're going to be suffering from CTE after this.
You got that right.
Jameer, you tell me date and time, I'll do it with you.
You guys are crazy. I'll be on Toro.
Yeah, I do Toro like 80 times on a non-wheel seat on the second or 17th row.
Only ride Toro in a day, and like you cannot do anything else. You cannot eat. You cannot do anything else.
Could y'all do it? Could you do Toro all day on a non-wheel seat, second
as long
or
as I can
17th
eat
row?
and drink? Yeah.
Yeah,
I could. Same here. I could do it.
Breaks. You'd only get 2 breaks in the day.
Just make sure you don't drink too much, so you don't have to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
It's very common sense.
Or I could have the crew keep giving me water when I need it. That way I don't have to leave.
Yeah, just a little bit of have a couple sips. Stay hydrated.
RMC Shadow Stalker?
Oh.
What? Who said that?
The Battle for an Atom.
Wow.
Dragon Mountain or Magic Mountain? Great Escape or Great Americas? All really interesting hints. All right, real quick, everyone. Tell the chat your coaster count. I'll start. 329.
297.
535.
470.
165. Well,
by the end of this, by the end
100 on this trip, though, wherever.
By the end of this year, I should be over 400.
Wow.
I'll be very close to 500.
I should be after 300. I'm at 297. Not that hard.
Yeah, currently
Finally
329.
passing to the respectable
milestone.
200.
My 50th coaster was Skyrush. My 100th coaster was The Beast. My 150th coaster was Fury. My 200th coaster was Outlaw Run. My 250th was the Cyclone, and my 300th was Icebreaker. So yeah.
That's impressive.
I'm going to skip past this question because this is a very long discussion that we don't really have time for tonight. Honestly, I don't think they're going to build a ground-up park. I don't think anyone is in the States because there's not really.
I feel like they would do it in Saudi Arabia and call it like Six Flags Qiddiya.
Well, yeah, they're building the one over there now with Six Flags Qiddiya.
That was the joke.
Oh.
Colin's unfunny, chat. Just to let you know.
I'm not. I just can't hear you because you sound like you're in a washing machine.
Yeah.
Is COD testing with 3 trains normal? Yep, it runs with 3 trains all the time. Your last great adventure, Giga, you said someone said, yeah, I know. That wasn't mentioned to your comment. I had a feeling it was a joke, but I figured I'd just check on it anyway. And I saw new things with it anyway, so worked out. Great adventure could maybe get a GCI in the far future. I think that'd be a good fit for sure. Maybe a more family-oriented one. And the last thing we are going to cover tonight, because the line separated everything else, is going to be How much is the Flavors of the World punch cards? Their video being released about it soon. The video was supposed to release today, but the dance show they have wound up giving me a copyright claim, so I have to re-upload the video. So it should be out tomorrow. The punch card itself for the 8 punches, I want to say it's $60.
$63 and some odd cents, because that was after tax.
And then if you're a pass holder, you can pay for that and get 4 bonus punches. So yeah, I'm gonna have, like I said, the video should be coming out tomorrow with all the details on it. So stay tuned for that. It's supposed to come out today, but oh well. That is gonna do it for this stream. We have reached the end of the chat. Sorry if you guys sent something in after the line. We'll get to it the next stream, which by the next stream, maybe we'll be back from our trip. Guess we'll have to see. But guys, thank you all so much for joining. Since, again, people have been shuffled around back and forth, you want to give your social medias a shout out real quick. We'll start with Sammy, then go down the line to Tom. So, Sammy.
Built to Thrill, or you can call me El Toro Sammy now.
Was I next in the order?
Bob is next.
Oh shit. My bad.
You said Tom next, but...
No,
wait. I was right.
Down the line to Bob.
You said down the line to Tom. That's what I was confused.
Sammy down the line to Tom. So Sammy, Bob, Ace, Tom.
BK photo page on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter.
Ace
Acecom Facebook.
Yeah, follow Tom's Tracks 99 on Instagram. Probably gonna do a lot of coverage of the Canada trip when we're there. Oh, well.
Tom.
Well, spoiler alert.
Tom. Why would you do that?
You know what? You're gonna love that vlog. You're gonna love the vlog of me like kissing the ground of Guy Lafleur's like statue. It's gonna be great.
Oh wow!
Now Niagara's not gonna be surprised.
Don't worry, guys. Like I said, announcement video will release the day we are at our first park. I'll set it public pretty much as we're getting to our first park of the trip. So yeah, stay tuned for that, guys. That being said, that is it for tonight's stream. If you guys enjoyed, be sure to subscribe to Hollywood Studios. Check out our content, both past, present, and future. And I'll see you guys next time. Have a good night.